Hello my friends! Today's holiday tutorial is a little bit artsy and a little bit crafty. I'm going to be showing you how to use your basic floral painting skills and something that you would normally throw in the bin to make these lovely little tree stars. Hey friends, welcome back. Happy holidays. My name is Shayda Campbell and around here we make art and it's fun, not scary. Lately I've been thinking a lot about how art is really for everyone. I know a lot of people are sad or scared or worried or just feeling big feelings this holiday season. There's a lot going on in our world right now, and I'm here to remind you that making art or doing little crafts, but that's not just for kids, it's not just for the wealthy, it's for everyone. You deserve to make a paper chain or paint a sweet little ornament for your tree. You are worthy of making something, and you're good enough to make a little something to give to a friend or family member. I can't even really get into how that will change your life. I can tell you how it changed mine, and I know I have over the years. Art has lifted me up when I was really down low. So yeah, if I can encourage you to do one thing this holiday season, it's just to use your hands and make a little something. And today I'm gonna guide you through making these sweet little toilet paper roll ornaments. So it's something you would have around the house that you would normally throw in the bin, and we're just gonna use some cheap crafters acrylic paint to kind of give the TP roll a little makeover. And let's just get to it. Okay, I think I've talked enough. Let's get into it. I'll show you my desk. I'm just gonna start by lighting a candle, make that creative me time feel special and calm. And here's what I'm using today. I've got some Crafters acrylic paint. I'm using like a nice burgundy red, sort of a Christmassy color. And then you're gonna want paper towel or toilet paper rolls. And all we're gonna do is take, an old craft paintbrush, and we are just gonna slap that paint on there. I found because you can see those glue lines, I needed to do like 2.5 coats. The craft acrylic dries really, really quickly. These paints you can usually find at a dollar store, but definitely like a Hobby Lobby or Michael's will have them for a couple bucks. And you could paint them any color, but I recommend reds, burgundies, blues, maybe a dark evergreen. And once you have painted 2 or 3 coats, and they are dry, you're gonna flatten them down. And then we're going to mark about 1.5 centimeters, maybe just under 1.5 centimeters. And then we will use that ruler and a pencil to mark the straight lines and then cut along those lines. And you'll have a whole bunch of these little like cylinder pieces. And that's what we're gonna use to make the stars. This is how the stars come together. You take 3 of those little cylinders and you make an X, and then you can slide one either through the middle or over top. So an X with one more, you get it. You make a little star using 3. And then we take a nice small pair of sharp scissors and we are going to cut a little triangle out of the end, making sure not to cut right to the corners. You want the corners to stay intact so that this still remains a circle, a cylinder. I hope that makes sense because I didn't really show it well in the video. But yeah, cut a little triangle, but leave the corners intact. And you're gonna do that for all of them, just takes a second. And then you can start making your stars again using groupings of 3. So yeah, they look pretty cute at this point. And I found that the paper towel roll, it was a bit thicker than my TP roll. So the stars made with the thicker roll had a little bit more 3-dimensionality. They were a bit more bouncy. And here's how we glue them together. Using a hot glue gun, put a little tiny spot of glue, and then you're gonna make your first X, make it really wide, and then quickly put that 3rd one right over top. Make sure you like the shape while you can still move things a little bit. And then you're gonna sneak the glue gun in there and just put one more little spot of glue. And they will remain sort of 3-dimensional because the back is not glued. So they keep a bit of body, especially the thicker card roll, which I really liked. And that is how you create them, how you craft them. Now we get to the fun part, the art and the painting. So grab a different color of that Crafters acrylic paint. I'm using a really pretty, very light pink, almost cream. It's called Sugared Peach. And I am going to use a teeny tiny little round brush, just something from the dollar store. You want a really small brush for this. And we're going to dip that brush in the paint and paint 2 little leaves, maybe 4 little leaves. Once you've got a bit of paint off the brush and you're a little more in control, you can do some really thin little stems and branches joining everything together. So sometimes you want to get rid of some of the paint that's on there. It's harder to be precise if you have a lot of paint in the brush. So start with some leaves, just kind of hit the paintbrush against the card, put down a leaf or petal shape, and then join it together with some thin lines. These do not have to be perfect. If you make some little mistakes or one leaf is weird or fat or thin, it's not going to matter. These really come together as a whole, and you'll notice lots of my leaves are weird. There's large ones and small ones and thin ones and fat ones, and it doesn't matter. It looks really pretty, and actually you can use a gel pen for this, like a white paint pen or gel pen. If you feel like that would be easier, go for it. It will look just as pretty. I actually like the act of painting these little leaves. I just think it's fun, and I like the way that paint appears. One thing I did need was a little bit of water and paper towel. I should mention that. Just the paint can be so dry, and that can make it hard to be really precise. So just being able to wet the brush slightly. I didn't really mix water in, but I started with a wet brush, and that helped me to get like cleaner lines and thinner strokes. For this second star, I also started with the flower in the center, just because that flower gives the star a nice symmetry. So instead of doing the leaves first, I began with that. And of course, it's just 5 or 6 petals. You go around, paint one petal at a time. You know, so many of the tutorials on this channel are similar. We do a lot of tiny florals, and it is amazing. If you can just do these tiny little hits of the brush, make those leaves or petals, they're basically the same shape, you can do so much. Every year I share a Christmas ornament, and we usually use the same painting technique, which is tiny little flowers and leaves. And it's amazing how many different pieces of art and craft that you can come up with using that. Keeping things small, everything just looks so delicate and purposeful. But working small doesn't have to be difficult or intimidating. In fact, I think there's something about working tiny that for me actually makes things approachable. The project just doesn't seem overwhelming. I recently was part of the workshop week holiday edition, and the workshop is played live and everyone's commenting, and so many people were painting along and saying how easy it is and how fun it is to paint these little tiny leaves and flowers. So anyways, give it a try if you haven't already. Here we go. I wanted to show you what it would look like to do one with gel pen or paint pen. So I have this bullet pen that is white. It's sort of similar to a paint pen. It's from Staedtler. I'll try to link that in the description. I bought it locally at my local art store, and I am just starting by doing something that maybe would be a little bit trickier to do in paint with a paintbrush, and that is to do a little outline on all of the flags, I guess we'll call them. And I did some weird berries in the center. I think a flower would have looked better. I just wanted to do something tiny, because I could, but I don't think the berry cluster has like the same symmetry as the flower does. But anyways, the paint pen actually looks great, and I think a gel pen, white gel pen, would look equally as good. So do whatever is easy and feels best to you. There we go, all done, my friends. I am finishing these up by just placing a little loop of copper wire, and I glued that into the center. So that's how I ended up hanging them on the tree, but you could also glue a little loop of ribbon. Just use that glue gun again, and that is that. Thank you for watching today, friends. I'm gonna hang these on my tree, and I hope that you will be doing the same. I want to remind you that I have a lot of beginner level e-courses, and they are all on sale right now. So if you're interested in doing some learning this winter, consider taking my floral illustration e-course or my watercolor for beginners. There's a beyond beginner one as well, all about flowers. I also have some workshops geared at children and their adult, whoever that may be. They're 1 hour, we do a craft. It's a really fun, wholesome activity. And I tried to design things that would be pretty enough that the adult would be like, yeah, that's awesome, and the child would as well. So think about that. Those are all on sale. You can use code Black Friday 2024 on my website to shop any of those online products. They're all available to do. All you need is a web browser, and right now you can save 40%. You can also use that code in my shop to shop all of the prints and originals and save 30%. Okay friends, so I encourage you to do a little learning when sales are on at this time of year. I'm not doing a ton of shopping, but if there's something I want to invest in, it's always learning materials, because I'm a nerd and that's what I'm all about.